Hello, my friends. Happy holidays. Today we're going to talk about the magnificent pine, the pine tree, and the boughs of pine. So, Gemini, as I mentioned in my newsletter, it's been retrograde since October and will be retrograde through January. And Mars has been in Gemini, I think in its entirety will be 8 months once he moves out, which will be in March. I'm not sure. I have to look at my schedule, I think. Yes, March. Anyway, Gemini governs the respiratory system and the lungs. And during the holiday season, the winter season, many of us, especially if you have Gemini in your 6th house or your 12th house or 1st house or 8th house in your natal chart, may be susceptible to some upper respiratory infections, bronchitis, and not only that, in Chinese medicine, the lungs governs the emotion of grief. So if you are going through a rough time, just feeling sad or lonely during the holidays, or just grieving, just collectively grieving. I know sometimes I'll just start feeling sad today and I know this is not mine, but collectively there's grief out there. So you may be feeling it if you're sensitive. So I wanted to bring in the beautiful medicine of pine. I went out on my bicycle today and clipped a few boughs of pine. And what I love to do with this, and just to be careful with the sap, but first of all, the fragrance is amazing, and pine is amazing for the lungs and the respiratory system. And again, the heart chakra, the back heart chakra rules the lungs, okay? And the lungs and obviously in the respiratory system. So if you're feeling grief, if you're feeling congested, if you have breathing issues or asthma, having pine in your house is wonderful. So in fact, I'm looking at this one right now. Wait, this is hilarious. Hold on. I think I have a big spider in here, which, you know what? I do. So wait a second. I'm going to put this outside because I don't want a spider in my house. Hold on. That's so funny. That is too funny. Got that on camera. Oh my God. Well, I think I just made him come alive, so I put him outside with the other trees. Too funny. Anywho, I do have some of a few boughs in a pot of water on my stove, and I simmer it very gently, and the whole house smells like pine. So that's one way if you're feeling depressed or if you're grieving, just to bring in some of the aroma and the essence of the pine is medicine just through the aroma. Also, if you don't have pine, you can purchase some pine essential oil. This happens to be white pine, and it is so amazing. So there are many different types of pine trees. I think hundreds really of different pine trees out there, and they all have different medicinal properties or a part of the tree. The bark, the pine needles. In fact, you can purchase pine needles and just drink the tea. You can simmer the pine needles and drink it. I know all health food stores most of the health food stores carry them these days. And again, wonderful for bronchitis, upper respiratory infections, feeling substantial amounts of grief, your lungs feeling congested. It's just beautiful. Also, you can purchase a pine needle extract, which works amazing for the immune system. I've been taking this religiously since the pandemic a few years ago, and I don't take it as much now, but now that people seem to be having the flu more often right now during the winter season, I will take it a few times a week. And this is a tincture, great for the immune system. It's high in vitamin C. It's also great for the circulatory system, the brain, inflammation. One thing, again, with any herbal remedy, you always want to check with your doctor because pine can thin the blood, especially pine bark. I don't have a sample of that here, but the bark itself is another aspect of the pine tree. And that I know works great with people who have diabetes and such, but you'll have to do the research on your own and speak with your medical doctor if you are on any kind of blood thinners, if you're a diabetic, or on any medications for that matter, because it can create an issue. So you always want to be careful. Then there's another form of pine, and I take this to actually give me a little bit more testosterone, in balancing my hormones. 55 years old, my testosterone levels are a little on the low side, and I don't take bioidenticals or anything like that, but I do take herbs, and pine pollen a few times a week works great for me. It helps my muscles, gives me energy, especially after a sporting activity. It's great for inflammation and recovery. So there are many different types of pine, and since if you live near a pine forest or a park and there are pine trees, I always make it a practice, and it could be cold, it could be warm out, as long as there's no snow, or even if there is snow, the phrase hug a tree. But in theory, you want to pick a tree, a pine tree that looks very, very healthy, and you always want to ask the permission of the tree. If I can just sit here with you, meditate with you, put your back, your spine against the tree trunk, and just have a little conversation with the tree, asking you for the tree to feed you with energy, to give you whatever you need. If that's a boost of joy, a boost of love, to open up your lungs, to open up your bronchioles. If you're just feeling lonely, being with a pine tree is absolutely a beautiful practice, and meditating under the tree. But always choose a tree that looks healthy, not a dying tree, and always ask the tree for permission to absorb some of his good qualities and healthy qualities to give you a boost of energy. So this is the pine season. If you have a live Christmas tree and you have a pine tree, try it. Take a few boughs of the tree, bundles of the tree, of the pine, and steep it in some water and allow the aroma to fill your home or your apartment. It's just beautiful. If you have any questions about the beautiful pine tree, let me know. If not, have a beautiful, beautiful day, and may you look at pine completely different. Be well. Bye-bye.